Evening, gang, and welcome to tonight's United Kingdom Talk. On Sunday nights, we move to Sundays, Tuesdays and Thursdays as from now. Just a little insert here that I'd recorded for you this afternoon. Absolutely beautiful day. I'm up in Lincolnshire at the moment, and the rivers are very busy with boats. Plenty of them up here. This is looking just from Chapel Hill Bridge. It's only a tiny little bridge, and on one side you've got sort of the town or the little village, and on the other side is my caravan site. Not only boats, but people on those board things, sort of paddling them as well. There you go, group of people there. I don't know how easy they would be to stand up on one of those. It's just sort of going along, moving water. That being said, the water was very slow. It actually looks faster on the picture there. That's just the wind giving it the ripple effect there. But they look like they're having a good time, don't they, eh? I think I'd rather be in a boat, though, with a motor at the back of me. Something like that. And just a little look of where I was standing, just doing that first little bit of chat. Stunning array of flowers, yellow and white, both either sides of the sort of path that I was walking down. Look at that. It was really beautiful walking along there. Okay, to the studio. It's a nice, lovely walk. It's been such a nice day. Unbelievable day. What's it been like where you are? You had a nice day today? Oh, you're over there. I can't remember where you are. Has it been where you are? Nice, sunny, unbroken cloud. The only thing is, of course, I'm in the caravan now. It's a bit hot. So what I've done is turn the air conditioning on in the bedroom, and I've left both doors open, like the bedroom door and the little studio door. And you can actually feel a nice cool breeze coming in from the air conditioning. Worth the money, dears. Worth the money. Well, hello. Welcome along. I'm at the Chapel Hill Marina again here in Lincolnshire for you this evening, gang, for our first little Sunday night show. Sundays, Tuesdays and Thursdays we're on now, okay? Sundays, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 o'clock in the evening. Just got a couple of emails here from the last show, actually, that Vera sent in. And Vera had trouble with her emails for some reason. They kept bouncing back to her. Don't know why that was. Now, one of them is on the subject of premium bonds. Don't know if you've got any premium bonds. I had, I think £5 of, I think a fiver of premium bonds for ages and ages. Of course, I never won anything. Eventually, I think I cashed them in. I had them from a little boy, never won a thing. I know other people have had them. They tend to have quite a lot. You know, we're talking like 10 grand. And this is years ago when none of us had 10 grand. Well, we still haven't now, have we? You know, 10 grand's worth of emails, premium bonds. My friend Jean, who I used to work with in British Telecom, she's no longer with us. Lovely lady she was. Jean Hyland from Scotland. Used to work with her at Directory Inquiries in Wimbledon. And she had about £10,000 of premium bonds. And sort of every other month she used to get 50 quid through. Which in those days, we're going back to the 80s there now. In those days, 50 quid was quite a good win. You know, that was a lot of money. You go back even further, and I seem to remember that £50 seemed to be the jackpot in the Golden Shot. You know, right at the end of the Golden Shot, those who remember the Golden Shot, the big boards at the end, the apple in the middle, you shot for the apple, this drawer dropped open at the top of the game, and all these coins used to pour out 50 quid. It was an awful lot of money then. What can you do with 50 quid now? 2 haircuts if you're lucky. Well, it depends where you go to. You know, I pay £10 or £10 and 5 pence with the tip. That's what I do for my haircuts. Anyway, Vera's wrote in on the subject of premium bonds, which we didn't actually do that subject in the end, but it doesn't matter. And Vera says, my father bought some premium bonds before I was born and found them years later after he died in 1985. They are not transferable to next of kin. Did you know that? Not transferable to next of kin, and they are only worth what he paid for them, which was £5. I never knew that, and I guess a lot of people don't either. Yes, this is the thing with premium bonds. It's like from what I understand it's like a free raffle. Okay, it's like a free raffle. Yes, you buy the premium bonds, but I think I think they got £100 minimum now, isn't it? £100, £10,000, right? That money remains yours. Okay? that £100 remains yours. In 20 years' time, you still own that £100 and you can get it back at any time. But here's the sting in the tail, there's no interest. Okay? So your gamble is that you're going to win something from their weekly draws. I don't know how many numbers they pick out, but it's usually a big one and then smaller ones going down, something like that. But it is basically a free raffle. You put your money in, put your £100 in, and you're in the raffle. You've got like 100 numbers. Okay? That's what you've got. And if in next year you think, oh, well, I haven't won, I'll take it out again. You take out your £100. You know, they don't keep anything back. But of course, you haven't earned any interest. That being said, in this day and age, interest is negligible now, isn't it? I know some of my bank accounts said they're not giving out any interest at all. They haven't done for years now, since the since that big crash we had in 2009. No one's really earned any interest. If you're a pensioner and you had savings and your whole idea, I know a couple of people like this, and your whole idea that would be in years to come you would live off the interest of your savings. Well, good luck with that, mate. You know, I know these people and they've been digging into their savings because the interest has never gone up again and it doesn't look like it will for some time yet. And so shame about that. Vera also wrote in on the subject of skiing, which we did on was it the last show or the show before? We were talking about skiing and all that. And the story I had with these people that hurt themselves skiing. I think they've gone off-piste, which is like, you know, say, if you're driving down the motorway, okay, off-piste would be off a little side road that you don't know anything about, okay? It's the same with the skiing. You stick to the routes. The idea is you stick to the routes. There's lots of people coming down those routes all the time. If you get into trouble, fall over, break a leg, someone's likely to spot you. Not the case if you're off-piste. I suppose it's that other little element of danger there, isn't it, really? Another element of danger. Let's just stick the email up for you. Okay, if you're in a chat box, I'm not in a chat box at all. I don't see anything going on in a chat box, okay? I'm not interested, really. If you're rowing with each other, not interested, okay? That's up to you to deal with it yourselves, darlings. If you want to contact me for the show, please send a text. Top left-hand corner of the screen there, 07451 287 337 is my text number, 07451 287 337 for a text. Or you can send an email down at the bottom there, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. There's also a phone number you'll be able to call in as well shortly, gang, okay? But as is the chat box, I don't see anything happening in the chat box. So if you're trying to talk to me there, I simply won't see it. Please use a text number or an email, okay? And Vera writes, on the subject of off-piste skiing. No, I'm not swearing, dear. No, I'm not. I wouldn't swear on this programme. You know that, darling. This is a family programme. I'd have Shania ringing my ears, dear, if I started swearing at you. She would. And Vera says, you're right about off-piste skiing. It can be quite dangerous. I was in a ski group with an instructor and we were skiing off-piste. Oh, that old one, is it? You tempted your instructor to go off-piste with you, hoping to fall into some sort of large snowball with him, would you? Oh, you are naughty, Vera. It reminds me of being in the bushes in Brighton. Sorry, I was in a ski group. I was in a ski group with an instructor and we were skiing off-piste and he told us to follow his tracks. Well, you know me, I thought that I would make my own. So I did. I lost balance and head planted my body in 10 feet of snow. Oh, my Lord. Everything went dark suddenly and I had to be pulled out. I looked like Father Christmas. Oh, blimey. In actual fact, I wonder if the fact that in this instant, I wonder if the fact that the colour of your skin actually may have saved your life. Mightn't it? Because you're not white. You know, you would have been easier to spot in that snow. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it was a godsend, really. Gosh. Oh, Vera. I mean, frightened the life out of me. Buried alive. Something like that, wasn't it? Oh. Anyway, thanks ever so much for your emails there. Very kind of you to send them through. Also on the text messages this morning. I noticed, I logged on to the text today and noticed that some texts came in that some of you had sent on Friday night for the karaoke. Now, it's another list, okay? I don't see any texts coming through except from the people who have been put in the karaoke text list, if you see what I mean. It's like a show list and a karaoke text list, and some people could be in both if they were to come along to the karaoke, and that would be all right. All right, so just to let you know that I don't see those coming through. All right, my darlings. Who's first then? It looks like George Bond. Good evening, George. Good evening, George. Evening to George. Evening to Rachel Wheatland. She's one of the people that sent in a text the other day. Thank you for that one, my darling. All right, my love. Diane Jebb is in the house. Good evening, Diane. Hello to Jason Hughes this evening. Hello to John Parrish. Hello, John, who says, always watched our latest unboxing video. Yes, I unboxed. Actually, I was going to do it today, actually, as well. Here it is. My brand new blood pressure thing. Now, if you haven't seen that video, I thought we might play the video out in the show today, and then afterwards I'll do my blood pressure for you again, and we'll see how well this works. That's my new blood pressure monitor, and it cost me 20 quid from Boots, and it's so easy to use, I can't tell you. Anyway, you'll see that coming up through the show. I'll play out that particular video through this. It's about 14 minutes long, all right? And I play it to you because not everyone will be subscribed to the other thing there. So we'll have a look at that there. Let's have a look. And he's giving me instructions on what to do before you do a blood pressure thing. Take deep breaths a few seconds before. Checking arm level with hearts. And John's decorating the room at the moment. He's got the Max Mate, winning more interest in the bank. I don't know what the Max Mate is. What, the max amount of premium bonds? Yeah, I gather if you've got the maximum amount, you are likely to win something. But I don't know really. And Gary Ross enjoyed the video we uploaded earlier as well. Well, I'll show it again later. Did you get the chance to top the town up around the bikini line? Well, today I've been litter picking today along by the river. Not too bad at all. About a carrier bag one way, because I go one way and then come the other way, and about a third of a carrier bag coming the other way, and it's completely clear now, except for a large piece of metal and a tyre, which obviously I can't carry anywhere. So I've put those on the side where I can see them. So I'll probably pick those up from somewhere, although I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put them. Actually, now I think about it, where will I put them? I never thought about that. I can't just... Can you leave something like that against a public bin? That's probably illegal, is it? I don't know. Or you could send a picture into the council, and I expect they'd collect them, like sort of fly tipping type thing. Perhaps I'll put them all in one place. There's a tyre, someone's tyre. There's a large piece of metal, all liftable by me, and a piece of wood. I could put them in one place and ask the council to come round and collect them there. Good evening to Shania. Evening, Shania. And Vectors as well. Hope your radio show went well today. I was a little bit busy this afternoon, sorting in here all out. When you go away from the caravan for a couple of weeks, you come back, there's always something wrong. I've said this before, haven't I? There always seems to be like something wrong somewhere. Like, what was it this time? Lots of computer updates. Lots of computer updates. You go on and there's all these updates to do, which take some time. Or, what else was it there? The clocks. You may have noticed a different clock today. Did you notice the different, green clock, right? The reason for that is the site where I get all the clocks from is down and was down last night. So I don't know if we're going to get those back. Perhaps they've run out of money themselves and they're unable to run the clocks up. But that's quite a nice little clock, isn't it, that I had up earlier? Would you like another look? Those of you that are just... There's my green clock. Do you like that? I think it's quite nice, isn't it? Huh? That'll do us for now, won't it? Stop moaning, dear. That'll do us for now. Yeah, there's always something wrong. And I pulled the curtain across on the door as I come into the caravan. I've got two doors. Pulled that down and the brackets come away. And I repaired it last year with no more nails. But the wall, the wall is not good to put a curtain rail up on. It's really thin. So I think... my brother-in-law some time ago put some heavy curtains up in the bedroom. You remember I told you, because there was a noisy family was in the caravan for one day, and it really upset me because I can't bear noise, can't stand noise. So I put he put a wooden batten up all along and attached the curtain rail to that and attached the batten to the wall with several screws. I don't know if he used glue on there as well. But I think that's what's got to happen. Now, do I... Shall I? Shall I try it myself? Now, what could possibly go wrong? You know, I could put a nail in, or sorry, a screw in, and go for a wire or something like that. Is there a pipe in that wall? Will I make a hole going through to the outside? It's all very worrying, really. Oh, dear. So, good evening, Shania. Nice to have you there. Good evening to Maureen this evening. Evening, Maureen. Welcome along to you, my darling. Hello, Maureen. Evening to Vera. There's Vera. She says, I was easier to spot because I was the only black person in the ski resort. Now, it's not so much you was the only black person in the ski resort. It's the colour of your skin against the white snow. You know. If I mean, someone obviously found you fairly quickly, but if they hadn't have found you, and it would have involved a helicopter or something like that, someone white in the snow, I would assume, is quite difficult to pick out. Maybe that's why they wear all those multicoloured clothes and all that on the skiing sites and that sort of thing. It's not for me skiing. I've tried it before. Not really keen on the old skiing at all. You know, I had the boots on. Oh, the boots! How uncomfortable were skiing boots? They must have been the most uncomfortable thing ever given to man. You know, that or one of those. What's those? What are those things they put on mad people? You know, to stop them moving their arms. What are they called? I can't remember what they're called now. You know those things? They put them on so you can't move, you know. I mean, anyone could have their wicked way with me if I had one of those on. Even Mark Bowles on. I'm not easy. Oh, there he is. Good evening, Mark. Mark's there. Hello, Petal. Not been around. He's got a lot going on at the moment. Are you missing me? Of course. Of course. All I've got is a little photo, and I haven't even got that here. It's locked away on my home computer. There's a special password on that, my dear. On that photo you sent in, Mark, a special password on that. Not having anyone stealing it. If a hacker gets in, there's no way they'd get hold of your photo. It's under lock and key. It really is. Evening to Paul in Cornwall. Hello, Paul. Chilling out in his recliner. You take it easy, Paul. Are you on tomorrow? Are you on the radio tomorrow? Are you on tomorrow there on the radio? Evening to Sherry Parish. Good evening, Sherry. Nice to see you on a Sunday. There's the Pink Flamingo. My nephew won that at Haven Holidays a couple of years ago. He actually won 2. And I got that one. And it makes an appearance now and again. I try and change the things at the back now and again. But I particularly like these beautiful items that Glenda sent me for Christmas. You know, these are China. Beautiful China teapot and like a China caravan that Glenda sent us some time ago. Talking to Glenda, if you're in the States and you're trying to text, I'm afraid for some reason the text messages from the United States don't get to me. We don't know why that is. They seem to come from other foreign parts, you know. But if you're in America and you ever want to send us a message, just use the email down the bottom and that'll come through, all right? Chris@UnitedKingdomTalk.co.uk. Vera reckons I walk around like RoboCop, do I? RoboCop. How is that? I walk around like RoboCop. I hope not. Bank holiday tomorrow. Anyone doing anything tomorrow? Will you be going anywhere? I always recommend no one goes anywhere on a bank holiday. It's a blooming nightmare, the traffic and that. We were talking about that the other week, weren't we? You know, it's just... It's... You know, to go from A to B, anywhere that involves a bit of water and some sand on a bank holiday is a big no-no. We used to do it in the 70s when we were children. And even then, we would get stuck in this traffic in Sussex on the way to sort of Bracklesham Bay or Bognor or somewhere like that, you know. Not a good idea to go around like that, bank holidays. Have you been... Perhaps you are somewhere now. Have you travelled somewhere? Noticed a lot of people on the road? Of course, I came up here after the karaoke on Friday night, which was extraordinarily good. I have to say, except for David, he was pissed out of his head. He was the tall, thin queen, young. Oh, he was so drunk. He was an absolute pain in the arse. Of course, or generally, people who are drunk at karaoke nights, who you sort of know, not well, but you just know them, right? What tends to happen is they create all sorts of mayhem, and the next day they apologise. And indeed, he sent me a text that I wasn't too out of order. And I always say the same thing. Not really, people get drunk at karaoke's. That's just how it is. And discos and things like that. But he would, oh, when am I on next? Every time someone sang, when am I on next? Another 10 in front of you. Absolute pain. But apart from him, what a good night the karaoke was. I mean, it really was. Sometimes people do forget the old mask thing and the walking around, and I have to tell them, please sit down, sit down. And it's difficult. It's difficult. How long we'll have to do that, I don't know, really. The other thing with the masks, of course, well, we've got the social distancing in there. But, when two people want to talk to each other and they are quite close, what do you say to them? I'm sorry, you can't talk to him. It's really difficult. Very difficult. But we discovered we can also open a door down there as well. So what we basically had was two whacking great extractor fans at one end, and they were on. But I've now discovered there's a fire... Well, it's not a fire door, actually. It's just a door that's right next to me on the left, okay? You can open that. Now, the problem there, you may think, would be, what about the sound? Well, we're downstairs. So you open the door, and then there's a bit of an area there where sometimes they put crates and things, and then stairs going up to the pavement level. So I opened that door and I went upstairs, okay? And you hardly hear it. Of course, all the sound's just banging against the wall and coming back in again. It's not going up, which was the big problem upstairs in the pub. When we were at ground level, the sound used to go straight out the windows. I mean, it's single glazed. And one of the windows wouldn't even close properly. No wonder we had a problem with sound. We're not having the problem downstairs with sound at all. So that's good news. So next Friday, I'll just have I'll have that door open and the fans on as well, and that should create a nice draft through as well. Besides, I think it's going to be quite hot. It'll be hot, just like me, hot, just like Mark Bowles, hot, flaming hot, dear, flaming hot. That's what he is. Good evening to Lee Toby. Evening, Lee. Hope you're well. Karaoke was good on Friday. The lad who did Bohemian Rhapsody was good. Yeah, that would be Matt. That would be Matt. Okay, Matt. Now I've just got Vera's just. Vera. Apparently, yes, that looks like. Well, it's a similar one to mine. Vera's just sent in a thing about the blood pressure monitor. Okay, let's have a look here. And here we go. They're selling it in Lidl as well. Same price actually. $19.99. That's exactly the same price as it was in Boots. So if you've got a Lidl near you, the two of them actually, Lidl or Aldi. Which do you prefer? Which do you prefer? I find Lidl a lot. How would you put it? Tidier. It's tidier. I do think Lidl is a lot tidier and sort of a cleaner image, don't you? If you go in both Aldi and Lidl. Do you not think the Lidl is sort of tidier and cleaner? I do get that sort of impression in there. There's a Russian supermarket coming over here soon. You know that, don't you? Hey? Russian supermarket. Okay. Right. What have we got on the show today? We can open the phone line as well now, actually. Let's open the phone line. Because I want to talk to you first. Where's the phone? Wait a minute, because my little buttons are down there. There you go. There's the phone line. That's open now if you want to call in, gang. First of all, about staff canteens. Did you ever work anywhere where there was a staff canteen? I think these are wonderful places. Most of them subsidised. When old Terry Wogan was around and he was on his BBC Radio 2 radio show, he was always going on about the BBC staff canteen, wasn't he? Eh? And how good it was in there, and they always seemed to meet other stars. A bit odd, really, isn't it? When you think about it, possibly Shirley Bassey and Terry Wogan would be in the BBC staff canteen drinking tea and eating cakes. I mean, how weird is that? But it would seem they did. And I wondered if you had a staff canteen where you were. I note that when I walk past Morrison's, I think most of the supermarkets have them, don't they? But I mean, when I say a staff canteen, I mean cooked meals. You know, not just a room where you go and have your tea, where there's perhaps a machine. Proper cooked meals. And we had this when we were operators at British Telecom in both, well, all the places, no, not all of them. Certainly at Wimbledon, where I was a director inquiries operator, and Kingston, where I was a 100 operator before I became an engineer. We had these staff canteens. Oh, and the food there. It was just like being in a dirt cheap restaurant. Did you have one of those where you were? What was it like? Text us and let us know 07451 287 337 or call in 020 8144 3477 020 8144 3477. Do you know, I've just looked at those two numbers and they're very similar, aren't they? The text number and the phone number. Once again, if you're in the chat box, I don't get your messages in there. Okay, you need to send us a text or give us a call 020 8144 3477. Did you have a staff canteen where you were? And these were big proper. It was like being at school. It was seriously like being at school, but better because you weren't forced to have anything. I mean, we had very good dinners, school dinners at my secondary school, all cooked on site. I went to the London Oratory School in Fulham. Each house had its own little eating place and its own selection of ladies. It was all ladies, always ladies. It was always ladies dishing out the food. You know, spoonfuls of potato with that potato. You know, I found a hairpin in mine once. And there was a hairpin in my potato. Isn't that awful? Oh, dear me. Oh, that's right. I see someone unknown crying on. If you're going to call in, you need to send your phone number, okay? We don't take unknown numbers. That's the other thing. I forgot to tell you that. Sorry about that. Because it's open to all sorts of abuse. All right? And we do get all sorts of abuse with that sort of thing. Just people ringing up and putting the phone back down. So if you're going to ring me, you need to be sending your phone number. So a phone number will appear up in front of me there as well. All right, my darlings? Yes. And our school meals were absolutely fantastic. They were. They really were. We had to have bread roll. I don't think we ever had chips. Never had chips, ever. Always Friday, it would be fish. We'd have battered fish, and it was absolutely delicious. And from the schools, back to the telephone exchange where I worked. As I say, Wimbledon Director Inquiry Place. It wasn't just Director Inquiries there. They had offices. It was like the main office for South West British Telecom there. So they had all the office workers, billing and all that was in that one big building in Warple Road. It's not there anymore. It's Posh Pussy Flats. Posh Flats, that's what it is now. Great long building. Lunchtime would come, we'd have an hour for lunch. We'd have an hour for lunch and we'd all pile downstairs and just order what we wanted. And pay very small amount of money for it as well. Never used to cost hardly anything. You'd have a proper meal and a pudding, something like perhaps a steak and kidney pie. You know, you'd have the big square thing of pie, wouldn't you? And it'd be cut in bits. I'll have pie, please. Pie there. Now, can I have baked beans, please? Out come the baked beans. And they had chips there. You could have chips or mashed potatoes, something like that. And then you move along to the treacle sponge pudding and custard. You know, or apple crumble and ice cream, whatever you wanted. It was all there. For pennies, really. Such a small amount to pay. I used to sit there with a cup of tea as well. You just talk to your mates, have your dinner, then you could go across the road. We have a department store across the road, Ely's, which is still there. I'm sorry, I can see someone trying to call in. It says unknown. I'm afraid you have to send your number if you're going to call in, all right, my darlings? I don't take any unknown numbers at all, all right? You need to be sending your phone number so it comes up on the screen there, all right? Yeah, and then we used to pile over to Ely's and walked around the department store, me and my friend Jean. Another lady called Dinky. It's a nice name, isn't it? Dinky. I don't know if these people are still around now. Wonderful people, really, that I worked with there. Although the job got really boring. Just giving out phone numbers all day. Oh, it's just so boring. Hours were okay. The most popular hours to work there were 8 to 4. 8 to 4. But it was 10 to 6 as well. So sometimes you had a 10 till 6. But that wasn't the only meal we had. We also had, as well as the main canteen, the main work canteen downstairs, we had our own sort of mini canteen on the same floor as the switch room. Because we had 15 minutes tea in the morning and 15 minutes tea in the afternoon and an hour for lunch. And that was all paid. They didn't, I know a lot of places they don't pay you for the lunch hour. British Telecom really looked after their staff. I really did. And at tea time, in the morning, you'd go out into this little cafeteria. You could have a sausage roll, as in, a bread roll, round bread roll, with a couple of sausages in there. Or you could have crisps, cake, something like that, and a nice cup of tea. 15 minutes, you had to eat it fairly quickly and scoff it down, and there was a telephone in there. In those days, there were no mobile phones. You just pick up the telephone and you could make free calls. There was only one phone, though, and it was always a little bit of a rush to who was going to get the phone first. But at any point, you could just go in and use this telephone on the wall to ring people. I used to ring my mum every day, And the same in the afternoon, Afternoon break would come and you'd go in there and have a cup of tea and perhaps a slice of cake. Just like Wurzel Gummidge. Did you have a staff canteen? I thought they were fantastic. So subsidised. Really subsidised, that tea place. Really good value for money. Vera says, Vera, of course, worked at the BBC. And she says the BBC canteen was good. I was based at Television Centre and the meals were heaven. You see, and a lot of companies did that in those days. I think the big department stores in London did it. A lot of them have gone now. Simpsons of Piccadilly and all those places. What was it? Holmes was a place called Holmes, Holmes. They all had staff canteens, didn't they? I expect Harrods does now and Selfridges. Why don't you give your staff a free meal for Christ's sake? It don't cost them much, does it? Or at least heavily subsidised. Really was wonderful. I can imagine the BBC canteen as it happens, Vera. Did you ever get to sit next to Terry Wogan and have a chat with him while you were munching away on your sausage rolls and your pickled eggs? She says the tea was nasty. Was it really? Poor Vera didn't enjoy the tea. Should have taken in your own tea bags, dear. Paul says 7 till 9 a.m. and 16 till in the evening. What's that say? 7. You've written 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. and 16 till in the evening, mate. The best canteen was when I was working as an electrician on site. And van, put up management, pay for it, or you can eat whatever you want. Fantastic, yeah. A similar thing, when people go out and make these films, big Hollywood blockbusters, that sort of thing, they've usually got like a canteen lorry with them, haven't they? And they all do cooked food, and when they have their breaks, they have tea and something to eat. It's wonderful. Where are we? Lee Toby, all right, Lee, says, when I was at Morrison's, they had one. Yes, I've as I say, in Bracknell, when you walk past the Morrison's to go there, you actually walk past this window where they have a canteen and you can see in there. When I was at Morrison's, they had one, cheap, same food that they used in a cafe. It was always closed when I got there for late shifts. Oh, you poor thing. Oh, you missed out there. I used to love the work canteen. It was a similar one at Kingston, actually, when I was at Kingston British Telecom. Again, a very large building with not just operators, but other people in there doing various different jobs, engineers and whatever. And they had a canteen as well. It wasn't quite as nice as the one at Wimbledon. It may have just been that the Wimbledon was the first one that I really used, if you see what I mean. And I went to Kingston. I didn't really enjoy the job there. I felt like a bit of an outsider there. I didn't feel I fitted in there. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you go to a job and you don't feel you fit in. There's a lot to be said for staying somewhere where you're happy. And I've said this to you before about DJing jobs and karaoke jobs. Over the years, doing my... I think everyone has a period, if you see what, a period of time where they're doing really well. Mine was in the 90s as a DJ. As a DJ, mine was in the 90s. The karaoke, I think that's still going all right for me whenever I get karaoke jobs. That still works for me. But the DJing was in the 90s. And my main place of employment was the Black Cap in Camden. And while I was there, I was offered various other jobs with a lot more money, but I was happy where I was, and stay where you're happy. Don't always go for the money. Seriously. I mean, what would you rather do? Earn £50 a night and be happy as a sandbag, or earn £400 a night and be absolutely depressed so much that you hate the job? Nah, don't always go for the money. That's what I say. Good evening to Peter Lake. Good evening, Peter. He's just up the road in Woodall. Saw him yesterday at my sister's barbecue. My sister had a barbecue yesterday, which I went to. Very nice. Just as good as the British Telecom Cafe. She got these veggie burgers. We love veg or love veg, something like that, green packet. And put them on the barbecue for me yesterday, along with some halloumi cheese. So we had that yesterday, as well as a beautiful long French, like a tiger French bread, great long thing, which I picked up from Sainsbury's on the way there, actually. And that was yesterday. And we've got it again tomorrow because they've got so much food left over. So looking forward to a little time out tomorrow. I did cycle up to my sister's, which is about an hour's bike ride each way. And I have to say, when I got there, my knee was playing up again. It seems to happen every time I use the bike now. I guess that something's just worn out in there. I can walk for miles and miles, no problem. But on a bike, I'll go on the bike and I have to be careful how I cycle with the left hand knee. Perhaps Mark Bowles, could you have a look at my knee for me, Mark? Can you do that rubbing thing? For me on my knee. And if you rub my knee, I'll rub you as well. That'd be quite nice, won't it? We could do a little bit of mutual rubbing, I suppose, eh? It seems every time I use the bike now, when I get off it, my knee, I have to be careful how I walk. Now, talking of that, actually, I've got another problem now. In the left-hand side of my leg, or the right-hand side of one leg here, I've got shorts on at the moment. You don't think I'd bother down here, do you? Look, I've got shorts on. Yeah, just sort of halfway up the thigh and on the side. Now and again, it's like someone gets a couple of needles and goes like that in there. Don't know what that is. That's a new thing, that is. Does look like there's a few varicose veins there. I suppose it could be something to do with that, could it? Should I take a picture of my little varicose? I think it might be where those varicose veins are. I'm not sure. Hang on, I'll show you. Yeah. Where's my... There we go. There we go. Varicose veins on these. It could be something to do with that, couldn't it? You see, I don't like to ring the doctor. I feel like I've rung him an awful lot of times over the last couple of years, and I really do that as an absolute last resort. Now I'm just going to zoom into that. There you go. Bit of a varicose vein there on my leg. Could it be something to do with that? It's like someone's got a couple of needles and then does that. It's a very, and it makes you go like that. It's a very short. It's not like a second. Not like a microsecond. Someone's done that. No idea what that is. Let's have a look. John Parrish. I used to use the BT bar canteen when we were changing over to STD in Wood Street, London Wall. Cheap beer and food. Oh yes, cheap beer and food. I don't know if they sold beer in there. Were they licensed? I didn't really drink at the time. Can't remember now. When I was at BT in Wimbledon when I got married, and whenever someone gets married, there was always this collection. Everyone went round for a collective for whoever's getting married, and it was my turn. And honestly, the amount of gifts that I got from those girls there was unbelievable. So many gifts. There was two gay boys there as well. They were always talking to me. I guess they probably knew and I didn't, and they were trying to bring me out. And I just wouldn't have any of it, really. Funny, really, how things turn out. So all these gifts came, and just wonderful, really. And then 9 months down the line, that was the end of that. But there you go. Jean Highlands, who I mentioned to you earlier, she kept going. She bought me a kettle. And she kept going, "Can you get the kettle back?" And all she would say, we'd be having a conversation. She says, "You know, what about that kettle?" "Oh, don't go on, Jean, please." No, I didn't take anything out other than my clothes and my records. That's all I walked away with, I'm afraid. Talking of those old STD exchanges, they were so noisy, weren't they, John? I remember I was at Wandsworth Telephone Exchange. I moved from being an operator to 151, which was still an operator, but that was on the engineering side now. So I wanted to be an engineer, see? But I didn't have the qualifications. I'm no good with paper exams. Never was. Never was. But I'm good. If you show me how to do something, I'll be able to do it. I can't do it off YouTube videos. I need someone next to me. Right, this is what you do. Then I can generally do it. As long as we're on the same level. You know, if you start talking too fast or loud, then it's just not sinking in. Like practical side of things. But I didn't have the qualifications, so that's how I did it. I went for BT. I went in as an operator, transferring to engineering faults, which was, again, just answering the phone. But now you're on the engineering side. And then I became an engineer from that, you see. And I remember Wandsworth Exchange, and you used to go in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. Now and again you get as you're going up. And then a bit of silence. As these great big metal things turned around, the exchange stuff, all the equipment. And then 9 o'clock came and the whole place went wild. And it remained like that until 5 o'clock. And then quick as a flash, it died down again because that was when the offices were open, 9 to 5. So every time you heard that's someone making a phone call, it was all mechanical. There was no electronics. It was so noisy in there. And then again at 5 o'clock, it all died down again, quietly, you know. Just a couple of people there. And people never used to stay up at night time then, did they? Not really. And then we changed over to System X. And I remember that. And the next day I went to work, no noise. No noise. It was all electronic then, little microchips and things like that. I think there's something else now. I'm not quite sure what. Amelia. Amelia's there. Good evening to Amelia. She watched the karaoke on Friday night. I hope you enjoyed that, Amelia. Vera says, what happened to the earphones? What earphones? What earphones are these? What earphones, Vera? What earphones are you talking about, darling? Oh, are you talking about the bone density earphones? Yeah, I've still got them. Didn't we talk about this the other day? No? Maybe we didn't. I put them on my ears. I haven't got them with me here. They kind of go over the ears and they're okay. But there's a definite... You don't notice the bass so much. That being said, I can now hear the traffic and everyone around me. So, I don't know. I mean, I'll keep them. I'll keep them and see how it goes. But it's lacking bass now, of course. Mind you, the other ones that go in your ear holes, you've got to push them right in to sort of get the bass, haven't you? So, don't know what I'll do about that. I will keep them, though. I will keep those and see how they go. Bone conducting earphones, that was it. Ollie K recommended them to me, didn't he? Him and his dad were recommending those to me. All right, phone number 0208 144 3477. So that's tea. That's our little conversation about tea rooms and things like that. And talking of tea, Adam the plumber has asked if I'd be interested in doing this. Now, you know, I like doing the old afternoon teas, don't I? I love going for an afternoon tea. Where they're doing an afternoon tea on a bus. I think there's a few people doing this. So I looked up, I typed in afternoon tea on the bus, and I came up with this website, b-bakery.com. b-bakery.com. And something that you might like to do. Come and experience afternoon tea with a difference on our exclusive and unique Bridget's Bakery Classic Afternoon Tea Bus London Tour. This sounds good. Unless, of course, it rains. Our vintage Routemaster buses drive through the streets of central London, taking in some of the city's best sights while you indulge in the fabulous Bridget's afternoon tea on a double-decker bus. Is this interesting you? It is me. It says, capture the heart of the city's culture, landmarks. Has anyone done this? Maybe someone's done this. Capture the hearts of the city's culture, landmarks and history on our London Route Master bus while sipping away on a lovely cup of tea and enjoying the exquisite tastes of France high tea. And enjoying the exquisite tastes of France. I don't know why they say France, but anyway. High tea, accompanied with an array of tasty sandwiches and delicious cakes and pastries. Your London bus driver will take you round Big Ben, the Houses of Parliament, Westminster Abbey, St James's Park, Hyde Park, the Royal Albert Hall, Marble Arch, Nelson's Column, Downing Street and more. The classic afternoon tea bus London sightseeing tour lasts approximately 90 minutes depending on the traffic. So, I mean, that's a nice thing to do. And it says it goes at 12, 12:30, 1, 2:30, 3, 3:30 and 5 o'clock in the afternoon, departing from Victoria Gate Station or Trafalgar Square. It's a little bit, you might find it a bit expensive, £45 that's going to cost you. But I have to say to you, if you go on a London bus tour, it's not far off that. And there's no tea. So, you know, that don't seem to be a reasonable, a bad price to me. And it says what you can have here. There is sparkling wine. They got Prosecco Rosé, Villa Marcello. Doesn't look like... Oh, yeah, they have got champagne. Here I got... Blimey. Half a bottle... What's this? You can have a bottle of this Crystal Louis Rodera. Anyone know what that is? I don't know what that is. There's obviously some sort of expensive one. There's one that me and my mate have usually. But it's not on there. It's a rosé one. I can't remember the name of it. But this, you can have a bottle of Crystal Louis Rodera. 275 quid, dear. Oh, I'd sneak one in my handbag. That's the sort of thing Vera would do. She'd take her own in a little bottle. Oh, that's the latest litter thing I'm finding now. Have you noticed we're suddenly getting all these little mini bottles of wine everywhere? This is the latest thing that I'm finding everywhere. Little bottles of glass wine littered all over the place. Not so much here down in Bracknell, where the house is. So you've got different champagnes and wines there that you can have. And then it lists all the sandwiches. They do a traditional option, good news, a vegan option, a vegetarian option, a gluten-free option, and a halal option as well. That's not bad, is it? Okay, afternoon tea. Is that something that you might like to do? Let's take a phone call. George is on the line. Good evening, George.
Good evening, Chris.
You okay?
Yes.
Good. Do you like the sound of that afternoon tea there, George?
Yes, I would actually.
Do you think that's a deal? £45, but of course that does include the tour as well. You see, you get taken all around London. Perhaps you could take your nan on something like that.
Probably, yeah.
I hope she doesn't fall off the top. Be terrible, that would, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll try to find my Cubs jumper.
Yes.
And I can't find it. I've checked the two wardrobes.
Oh.
And I can't find it. My nan might have thrown it away.
Oh, that's a shame. I bet it's in a box somewhere. I doubt she'd throw something like that away because that's like part of your childhood, isn't it? Mums and nans tend to keep loads of stuff like that, and then you find it and chuck it away. I chuck stuff away from my childhood, school books and things like that years ago, and I wish I hadn't now, but too late now, it's gone. You know, it's probably rotting away in a big pit somewhere. Like my career. Come on, George, what you been doing?
No, not really.
You there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right.
Yeah. Not a lot, really.
Have you not? Have you been out in the sunshine?
Yes.
Have you got a bike or anything like that?
I can't ride a bike.
Oh, why is that then?
Because I've tried it, just my brain won't take it, sort of thing. My brain says, you can't ride this.
Too much to do in one go, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Oh well, walking's just as good.
Yeah. I was going to tell you though. I was watching your video this morning,
Yeah. Which one?
and you said the one with the unboxing.
Oh, the blood pressure one. Yeah.
Yeah. You know when you say, what's this thing what you put on your arm and what sticks down?
Yes.
It's called Velcro.
Oh, of course, it's Velcro. I remember now.
Yeah.
Velcro, yeah. But I couldn't remember the life of me for the name. I do sometimes struggle for words. I can't remember what half the stuff is that I do, to be honest.
Yeah.
Velcro, thank you. I'm going to show that
I
video again within this show today because there's other people that haven't quite seen it yet. All right.
Yeah. I was going to put Velcro under the video, but then I thought, no, I better call, because you're watching, so I better call you and tell you.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for telling me that, George.
Yeah.
All right, have a nice evening, George.
Yeah, and you.
Thanks for calling in. Bye-bye, my love.
Bye-bye.
Bye, George. There we are. Always nice to have George calling in there. You want to call in? 020-8144-3477. Once again, gang, if you're in a chat box and you're trying to talk to me in there, I'm afraid I don't see those messages. You need to either call in, please, or send a text, 07451 287 337, or you can use the email. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is the email address. John says, do you remember the Lions Corner House tea rooms in London, 1960s to 1970s? I didn't go in one, but yes, I remember going past them. Certainly, I remember going past those. All you can get now is Starbucks. I mean, it's not... People don't realise what a cheap old blooming thing Starbucks is. It's just crap. I mean, it is. Paper cups and... It's... You know what I mean? You know, where's the lovely teapots and all that you would have had in Lions tea houses? But, you know, there's the reason they went, and the reason they went is because not enough people went in there. And that's going to happen to the department stores. It's sad. Debenhams gone now. How long will John Lewis be able to hold on, do you think? Well, I hope they will hold on. I love walking around a department store. You know, don't have to buy... Well, maybe that's a problem because we don't buy enough in there. A lot of people go in these blooming department shops. They go and get all the demonstrations and they go home and order it off Amazon. What can you do? Vera quite like afternoon tea idea. £45 per person is a bit dear. Perhaps for two it would have been ideal. Well, hang on. London bus tour price. I actually don't think the London bus tour price is much. Oh, it's £16. Classic London tour bus, £16, and you're on that for 75 minutes. It's 16, 26, 36, 46. So it's about, sorry, I thought it was a little bit dearer than that. Yeah. Thought it was dearer than that. Okie doke. Thank you for that text. Well, I can't read that out. Can't read that out. Well, there's our afternoon tea. What about Boris, eh? Boris has got married on the quiet. No one knew. Now, how amazing is that? Right? All these leaks that come out of the government, don't they? All these little leaks. Someone said this, someone this. And then Boris has a whole blooming wedding and no one knew about it. How is that even possible? Anyway, it's a lovely picture of him. But look, here he is. Here he is. Got married yesterday. He still hasn't had his hair done. I can't believe he hasn't done his hair. And I saw some pictures of this wedding in the various papers and what have you. He's married, of course, the love of his life, Carrie Simmons. She's very pretty, isn't she? There he is. Look. He hasn't done his hair. And am I right in thinking that's the same old bleeding tie that he's always got on, and the jacket he does to do the blooming speeches from in that room about the latest virus happenings, isn't it? But I've seen other pictures of the wedding, and it just looks like someone's garden. It doesn't look like a wedding that a prime minister has just had. Do you know what I mean? It looks like your mate down the road who's then gone to someone's garden and just hung up a few bits of flags and things like that. I can't believe it. Nothing wrong with that, of course. You know, I've when I was doing mobile discos, and I know there's some people who do mobile discos on Reach on Air with me. Lots of people are on there and still doing mobile discos. I don't do them anymore. And we do all sorts, you know, like I said the other day, from 5-star hotels to the local scout hut and everything in between the wedding. So on that scale, if that's the 5-star hotel and that's the scout hut, Boris's was sort of here. Or if that's how it looked. I mean, probably they had expensive drink and all that. The Daily Mail's take on this: Boris Johnson married girlfriend Carrie Simmons in a secret ceremony yesterday morning, the Mail on Sunday can reveal. I mean, just how did you keep that quiet? Isn't it funny, eh? Yeah, like I say, all those leaks that come out of the government, and yet he got me. Don't you think someone would have leaked that? No, not a soul. Nobody knew before it was too late. I'm amazed at that. Amazed. They got married in Westminster Cathedral. And where I've been there, didn't I play the drums in there with the school? I think I played the timpani drums in there. Cool, blimey, that'd be some years ago. 77, 76. That's the last time I was in there. Anyway, they got married in Catholic Westminster Cathedral. Is he Catholic? Or maybe she is. That probably... I don't think he's Catholic, is he? He's probably Church of England, I would imagine. Let's take a call. Hello, who's on the line, please?
Hi, Chris.
Hello, who's that?
It's me, Dave. Dave Holland.
Dave Holland. Hello, Dave. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks.
Nice to hear your little voice. It's been many, many years.
Well, it's the first time I called.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, the first... I haven't had a message from you for ages, Dave. Hello.
All right. I called in to let you know what's been going on with me today.
Yes, tell us.
I've been. I'm from Birmingham.
Yes.
Remember me? Birmingham.
Yes.
And travelled all the way up to Fleetwood. I'm in Fleetwood now for a couple of days. 'Cause it's my birthday on Tuesday.
How far is that, Dave?
And I ordered a taxi to come.
Right.
And then 15 minutes before a taxi came, I went to go to the toilet. Right, I had my keys in my in my hand, and I put them down, and I went to the toilet, and then I came down, and then when I came down the stairs, I didn't know where the keys were. I was looking all over the place.
Oh no!
And I just about found them with about 2 minutes to go.
Yeah. Oh, how many times do we do that though? Lose our keys like that? I'm always doing that, Dave. Always.
Very true.
There's so much to remember when you come out the door now, though, isn't there? Keys, mobile phone, wallet, this, that,
I
the
know.
other.
Yeah, you go out, and then you forget something, and then you come back in, and you get that, and you go back out, and you forget
Blooming
another
nightmare,
thing.
Dave. So what are you doing up?
Chris.
What are you doing up in Fleetwood?
It's my birthday on Tuesday, so I thought I'd come up. Yeah. 'Cause we're in lockdown. Yeah, we was in lockdown, and now we come back out now. So it came at the right time. The 17th of May was it?
So
and
what is
my
in
birthday Tuesday? So I thought, why not?
What is in Fleetwood? Is that where your parents are or something?
Oh, it's a good view that I've got the seaside. I've got the remember when I sent you a photo back in July and August.
Oh, it's a long
remember
time
that wonderful
ago now.
seaside? Remember?
I can't remember now. It's a long time ago, mate.
I'll send you another one.
Yeah, please do.
I'll send
Please
you another
do.
one. Yeah. All right then, Chris. I'm gonna let you go then.
I was going to say to you, what you staying in, a hotel, a caravan, what?
Yeah, I'm in a hotel right now. I'm here until Friday.
What's the hotel like?
All right, yeah, it's fine, yeah.
Is it like a travel lodge?
I came here today and I'm going back Friday, so it's a long week.
Oh, that's all right. No, you'll have a nice time. Are you on your own now or what?
Yeah, I'm on my own, yeah.
Yeah, I tend to go on holiday on my own unless I'm going with family and that sort of thing, Dave.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for
All right
calling
then,
in.
Chris.
Nice to talk to you.
You take care. Have a nice, enjoy the rest of your evening. You take care.
Thank you, Dave. Bye-bye.
Thanks,
There we
Chris.
are, Dave calling in there. You can call in as well if you want to. 0208 144 3477. Just going back to this wedding that Boris seems to have... oh, I think I just swallowed that sweet. Oh, dear. Has it gone down the correct hole? Don't want one of those going into your lungs, do you? I think it's gone right in the right hole. Yes, this wedding that he had comes just 6 days after the couple became engaged on the Caribbean island of Mustique in December. Beautiful place if you ever get a chance to go there. And they've got a little baby as well. So good luck to them. But I'm just amazed how they kept that so quiet. Really. How they kept that so quiet there. Thank you, Mark. I must meet you one day. We think exactly alike, you know. We absolutely think exactly alike. We must meet one day, and don't bring the girlfriend, please, darling. Paul says, where we live, tea for two is £20 with sandwiches and cakes and a big pot of tea. Do you get a glass of... Usually you include in with a glass of champagne on these afternoon teas, you see. That one works quite well. John Paris says Boris spent all his money doing his flat up. That's why small for Catholics getting married 3 times. Tut tut. John Paris doing the judging there, aren't you? Doing some judging. Hello to Chris Williams. I was wondering if you had any playing cards left from the leftover bingo prizes. If so, how much do they cost on PayPal? There you go. There is 1 packet left here, actually. Funnily enough, you should mention that. There's 1 packet of those. I don't know, £5 all right? As a £5 sound. It'd be £1 to send them to you, you see. That'll have to go as that's £1. It's about £1 to send them to you. So a £5 if you want. There you go. Let's put the PayPal up there. Anyone want to send a tip? That's where you send a tip to, my darlings, okay? PayPal.me/Chris in UK. Type that whole thing into your address bar, okay? Type that whole thing into your address bar, not in a PayPal search, otherwise you won't find it. And then you'll see a little picture of me come up, and that'll do it. So do it on there, and then send me your full address, and I'll pop them into the post to you. Thank you for asking, Chris. Yes, so we have got. I'm sure that's the very last set of cards we've got there. All right. Good evening to Fran Green. Evening, Fran. Evening, Chris. Hope you're well. Sorry I'm late. Been doing the garden now. It's cooled down a bit. Yes, I do notice that at the moment. We're having some very hot days. Like today was very... not as hot as yesterday. Yesterday was very hot, certainly in the caravan. But night time, it cools down really quickly. And yesterday, I changed over my sheets here. I've already done them at home. I changed over my sheets and my thick duvet to the thin one, and actually last night was a bit chilly in bed. It woke me up a couple of times, so maybe I need to wear clothes in bed. I tend to sleep naked. How do you sleep, naked or you got clothes on? Mark, do you sleep naked? Is there any videos of that, please? Is it? Thank you. All right. Thanks very much to Gary Ross. He's sent a small donation. That doesn't matter how small it is. I'm not bothered about that, mate. Thank you very much. That's very kind. Let me just find the super chat thing there. Where's the super chat? Hang on. Super chat. There it is. If someone's kind enough to send in a little bit of cash, we must have the super chat sound. Except it hasn't come up. Oh. Why hasn't that come up then? Super chat. No jingle's working. Hang on. Oh, that's strange. Super chat. Let's try another one. No, nothing's working. Look. Oh. Oh, how strange. I've got no jingles working. We got to have it, haven't we? You can't not have the super chat noise. 1 minute. Can't not have the super chat noise. Let's have a look here. See if we can do it another way. Super chat. Which means my music won't work at the end either. Oh. Oh, there it is. Let's try this. Is this going to work? Ah, there you go. Thank you very much. There you go, Gary. There's your little jingle for you. It's just a pound of jingle. It's a pound of jingle. It's a pound of jingle. Thank you, Mark. Would love to meet you, but please bring your bike as you can teach me to ride. Oh, I'll be able to teach you to ride, all right, sunshine. Don't you worry about that. P.S. This light bulb is lovely. Am I allowed to read that one or not? Chris says that's fine. Yeah, Saturday's fine, whatever. Chris Williams sleeps in a nude as well. Yeah, I don't see the point in wearing clothes in bed. I really don't. Unless, of course, you've got diarrhea. You know how it is. Do you know, that's never happened to me. Can you believe that? I know people who it's happened to. That's never happened to me. You know when you got a bit of a dicky tummy? I've never woken up in a mess. Has that happened to you? Come on, be honest. Let me know whether that's happened to you or not. And if you don't want me to read it out, just put, do not read this out. Let's do a quick survey. How many people have pooed the bed? Perhaps that could be a YouGov thing. You know, anyone signed up to the YouGov where you have these like questionnaires come around? I do those. YouGov. Now, I'm going to turn my air conditioner off. Hang on. I can't reach it. Excuse me a moment. Turn it off now. It's cooled down a bit now. It's night time outside, so we haven't got the sunlight hitting the caravan. All right. You got that PayPal? Can I take that off now? I'll put it back up again a little bit later in case anyone feels the need to send cash through. Phone number 0208 144 3477 is my local London number. Or you can text in 07451 287 337. All right. So that's Boris's thing there. What do you think about this? Should this lady pay someone's vet bill? Here's the story. It's in the Daily Mail. An outraged woman, what do you think about this? An outraged woman revealed her neighbours are asking her to pay their cat's £800 vet bill after it ran into her home and cut itself on an open tuna tin. I mean, the cat walked in on its own. Is it her fault? Posting anonymously on this site called Mumsnet. I mean, you just know what sort of site that is. It's all a load of old bags, cackling, a little bit like Loose Women. Oh, I don't know if any of you watched that Loose Women. I do not know how you sit there and watch those old bags cackling away all the time. Oh, especially who's the one with the teeth? You know her. Janet Street. Hello, my name's Janet Street. Welcome to Loose Women. Lovely to have you with us today. Oh, I can't bear it. And the other one who's on there, she was in Grange Hill, I think. She's always crying, isn't she? Cries. And that Alison woman gets on my nerves and all. Alison Hammond, is she on there? Or This Morning? Or both of them, probably. There's a particular lady on there. I don't know her name, but she wears green eyeliner. And she's got a face where you know she's like a bit of a bitch. She's got one of those faces that you know you wouldn't really want to talk to her. And she's on there as well. She's often, they have like one in each corner of the screen. That does my head in and all. I can't bear that. I know there's some people who they do lots of YouTube videos, usually through... they don't use the same software as me. Is it LimeWire or something like that? Live, I can't remember now. Anyway, and it's quite blokey, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not for me. And they can have like 4 or 6 or 8 people on the screen at the same time, just chatting away over each other. That being said, they got much more viewers than me. Oh, I don't know. But I can't bear that. How anyone can sit there watching that crap, I do not know. I bet Mumsnet is just like that. It says, posting anonymously on Mumsnet, the UK-based woman explained her husband wanted to foot the bill for a quiet life, but she wanted to take a stand. So this cat literally walked into her house, saw the can of open tuna, and cut his paw on it. Poor little thing. 800 quid. It prompted an outpouring of responses from horrified users, with one scathingly saying they should pay for a backbone instead. The cat dilemma was part of a wider post detailing problems with the same set of neighbours, who also asked her to rearrange her garden to make it easier for them to park their cars. Why do people want to live somewhere like that, where you've got rotten neighbours? I can't think of anything worse than to have, or worse than that, noisy neighbours. That's the one thing that would make me leave my home and sell it. Noisy neighbours. I couldn't stand it. You need your own little place that you can. I'm sure one or two of you have got noisy neighbours. I'm sure you probably have. My mate's got one now. The woman next door, bangs up and down the stairs. It doesn't go up quietly. Bang, 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 as she goes up the blooming stairs. Awful. And apparently a boyfriend that smokes that stuff. And he says it comes in through his blooming windows. He said he can't stand it. What do I do? He said, what do I do? I said, well, have a quiet word with her. Ask him to go. Apparently he stands at the bottom of the garden. But that smell? That marijuana smell? It goes it travels for miles and it just sits there. When I'm walking back from my mate's house, sometimes under the underpasses, where I walk slowly in case there's any weed smoking chavs that want to jump me, which I hope Mark Bowles would be one of those, to be honest. Sometimes I go under the under, and there's no one under there, but you've got that stench where someone's been smoking. And these underpasses are completely open either side, but the smell just hangs there for hours. It's awful. Anyway, back to this. In a lengthy post, the woman penned, we had civil but not friendly relations with our next door neighbours since they moved in 7 years ago. There is a two-part issue. One, we have one car and half of our front garden is a driveway and the other half has plants and small trees on it. Next door has a smaller plot and have mostly a driveway with a hedge and raised planted border. This driveway could easily fit 2 cars if they were normal sized, and you could fit 2 massive ones if you paid attention. Another nearby neighbour with a slightly smaller plot manages 2 vans. And it goes on. They've obviously got some sort of problem with their neighbour and that. But do you think if a cat runs into your house, right? Bit different with me, because a cat does come into my house and I encourage it in. Gary the ginger cat, who's mega friendly, he's getting very fat. I noticed he jumped up on the fence the other day and the whole thing started swaying like that. It's a big cat. Actually, he's not fat. He's just big. He's really big now. But he's so gentle. Never once has he swiped or bit me. He's just round me. He loves me. And I think he's lovely. He comes into the house and he's encouraged. Judging from this story, she doesn't encourage the cat to come in. It just walked in, found an open tin of tuna, jumped on it and cut his paw on it. Do you think she should pay the bill for that? That's a difficult one, isn't it? What do you think? These messages coming from Mark are iconic, but I can't read them to you. The girlfriend's obviously out tonight, that's all I'm saying. George Bond says he sleeps naked. Oh, please don't send any pictures, George. Please, darling. No. Vera says there's nothing loose about those women, Chris. Oh, I can't. Please don't tell me you watch that Loose Women, do you? Do you watch Loose Women, Vera? How can you sit there and watch that cackling, dear? Oh, bring back the test card. All is forgiven. That's what I say. Anyone else calling in tonight? 0208 144 3477. Just a second, let me clear something down there, otherwise I'll get confused again. There we go. Oh, what have I done now? Is it chats? I click on chats. There we go. That's all went a bit wrong then. Talking about that bank holiday traffic there. Of course, no traffic for me really, except I come across a closed road coming up on the A1M on Friday night. And it was closed at a roundabout. It said road closed, and I'm like, well, I've gone around this. I don't know where I am. You see, my geography of getting from A to B is really bad, really bad. I've gone around this roundabout twice, and then there's these blokes standing at the end of it. So I stopped I hate doing on the roundabout. I've stopped. Excuse me, mate. Can you tell us where to go? He said, I'm afraid there's no diversions in place. We've got a fatal accident on the road, so we've had to close it. I said, well, I don't know what way to go. And someone said, well, follow your sat-nav. Well, the sat-nav's telling me to go up the bloody road, isn't it? Idiot. I didn't say that. The other bloke said, oh, just head towards Biggleswade. Or Biggleswade, one of those two. So I went round again, there was a sign Biggleswade, so I went down there, and immediately the sat-nav picked it up and took me right around and rejoined the A1M, which put, I don't know, 10 minutes or so on the journey. But of course, 11 o'clock at night, I don't have that traffic that people would have been sitting in there on bank holiday that we spoke about earlier. It says in The Sun, millions of British people got caught up in travel chaos as people tried to escape for bank holiday weekend getaway. They reckon 11 million journeys could take place over the long weekend since the easing of lockdown. So I don't know if you were in any of that. Certainly up the road in Woodall Spa, where my sister lives. That's why I've got this caravan, to be my sister and her family. And lovely, but I told you about the barbecue, didn't I? That's definitely very busy at the moment. Woodall Spa. It is like a tourist place. People come here. We have the Dam Busters Petwood Hotel. The actual bar is, I believe, where the Dam Busters used to sit and have a little bit of a drink. Hopefully after they'd flown. Mark says, I can't read these out, Mark. The message that you sent before the other one, yeah, I think you could make it a lot wider, to be honest. All right. I love these messages tonight. I shall save all of those and bring them out at a wedding of some sort. Okay. Do you go to museums? Do you go to museums? The reason I ask this, it's years since I went to a museum. The Science Museum was also a favourite of mine as a child. I used to go in there, presumably it's still the same, and you could push buttons. And funnily enough, we were talking about telephone exchanges earlier. Sorry, you might have had a little bit of buffering on your picture then. I was talking about telephone exchanges earlier. And indeed, in the Science Museum, there is a telephone exchange. There used to be when I last went. I haven't been for like 35 years now, which is about 2 years less than how old Mark Bowles is. They had a telephone, an old style telephone exchange, and it showed you how it all worked. And you'd walk around the Science Museum, and there were various little things. You could push a button, and something would happen. I don't know, a wheel would turn around, or a light bulb would come on, or something like that. And it was great. And Natural History Museum, where you need a whole day in there. That's a big old tour, that is. Do you go to museums? The last museum I went to actually was the Holocaust Museum in Jerusalem, in Israel. That was about 4 or 5 years ago now. Wow. You don't want to have anything else booked after that. Seriously. I mean, I was just so upset after seeing that. And some of the things you see in there, I don't know, perhaps I think it is something you should have on display, because people have to know what happened to those over 1 million people murdered by the Nazis years ago. So I did go and see that. There are some videos on that. And I ask you to be a bit respectful and not take pictures, and you see all these little shoes from little children. It's heartbreaking. And you do sit in there, and there are people in there just crying as you walk around. Videos of interviews with survivors of the Holocaust and the stories that they have to tell. It really is hard going in there. But that was the last museum I went to. Do you go to any museums at all? You been anywhere recently? Natural History Museum, Victoria and Albert, that's a big one and all, isn't it? Well, of course, there's lots of small museums as well. There's a toy museum somewhere, isn't there? And sometimes, various little towns and villages in the country, they have their own museums. The Imperial War Museum, that's sort of South London, isn't it? Near London, not too far from London Bridge, that one. Imperial War Museum. Used to go past that when I was going to do my karaoke at Belushi's in London. I just mentioned that because I came across a story in a mirror yesterday. Duchess of Cambridge, the lovely Kate, she's proper princess, isn't she? Do you not look at her and think that is a queen? I mean, you might be looking at me and thinking that now as well. Do you not look at Kate and think that is absolutely a queen? Her style is amazing. And yesterday, she had her first dose of the coronavirus vaccine. I guess she wasn't old enough before. She's 39. She became the latest member of the royal family to get the injection after attending an NHS-run centre at London's Science Museum yesterday. She tweeted, "Yesterday I received my first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. London Science Museum." That's where I got into the subject of museums, you see. "I'm hugely grateful for everyone who's playing part in the rollout. Thank you to everyone for everything that you were doing." And then she says what she wore. And a picture of her getting her injection. She looks quite happy. I mean, I think she's doing what most of us do when they get an injection, and that is look the other way. There you go. Do you look the other way when you get an injection? I always look the other. I can't bear looking at that needle going in. Eh? I mean, I promise, Mark, if you do an injection, whatever. I can read this one. Mark wants to know, why do most of your callers sound like they enjoy putting their fingers in plug sockets? Aren't you awful? Vera says the last museum I went to was to see the Terracotta Army in China. Have you been to China? Wow. Was that with work? Was that with work by any chance? How blooming wonderful to be to China. That just sounds amazing. I think I'd like to go to China, but I can't do Chinese food, not at all. I can't stand the smell. I'd be in serious trouble through lack of food if I ever went to China. Right, Dave's just sent in a photo. I've suddenly realised after all this time, I always tell you I can't do an instant photo show, but I can, of course, by taking a photo of it. So if any of you ever send in a photo and I say we can't show photos, just message me quickly, say, oh, you can take it on your phone, because I forget things, Here we are. And Dave writes in, "Hi, Chris, this is my view from my hotel room in Fleetwood, which is near Blackpool. In the afternoon, you get people on speedboats and big boobs." Sorry, big boots, but boats. Oh, for God's sake, Chris, what are you doing? In the afternoon, you get people on speedboats and big boats going by. So there we are. Lovely. That does look lovely, actually. What do you do at night there, Dave? Is there something you do at night while you're there? Do you do something at night while you're there? It looks a lovely place. Thanks very much, Dave. Vera says no holiday. Oh, she's been 3 times to China. Oh, you obviously like it then. You obviously like it. Yeah, the little ones, yes. Just waste of time they are, Mark. Those little ones are a complete and utter waste of time. Go home. Do you know what I mean? All right. Where were we? So, Kate Middleton. Anyone else been to museums at all? Anyone else? It says here her husband, Prince William, received his first dose last week after revealing he secretly fought the virus off in April last year. Did you know that? Because I didn't. He was forced to self-isolate from his family as he struggled to breathe. This is Prince William. Well, I never knew that. Royal aides told of their fears as William's symptoms progressively worsened before his eventual diagnosis. Well, I didn't know that. I really didn't know that. Well, I'm glad he recovered. He seems a decent bloke, doesn't he, Prince William? You know, if you don't like the royals, you don't like them, so I'm wasting my breath on you. I know that. But I like them. I quite like the idea of having a royal family. It's usually jealous people. There's William. He don't look either. Look, he's not looking either. You think all that money, you'd have a bit of hair put on his head, wouldn't you? Like a wig or something like that. Eh? Oh, you shouldn't be able to hear that, but you did. Daniel Woodhouse is on the line. Good evening, Daniel.
Evening, Chris.
Hello, how are you? All right?
Oh, I'm feeling normal.
If normal? What, you? How are you feeling normal? Yeah, Mark, it's another one with his fingers in a plug socket. Carry on, dear. Go on.
How can I sound like I've got my fingers in a plug socket?
Well, you do, dear. You sound
If I
like...
had my fingers in a plug socket, I'd be going, "Wah!"
Oh, it was a very good impression of a Dalek.
It probably was, yeah. I had a bit of...
Now, can you stay in front of the microphone? You're going up and down like a bloody yo-yo again.
I'm like, all right, I'll stay.
You know what I need here? I need a compressor. Do you know what a compressor is? Well, I can
Is it
feed
something to do with sound?
None of you seem to be able to keep your mouth in front of a bloody microphone or a thing. I need a compressor on here so it pulls up your quiet bits and pushes down your loud bits.
Okay. Have you got it?
What?
Your compressor?
No, I haven't got a compressor. I said I should have one here.
Oh, I thought you was looking
I may have to.
for
Well, have I
it.
got one? Actually, I have got one. Actually, funnily enough, I think I have got one. Yes, I think I have got one. I could bring that up here. It's the same at home though. You know, you get callers; they don't seem to be able to keep their hands. Especially the worst phone for that is the large iPhones. You suddenly move it, and then your voice just disappears. They're useless. We need to go back to old dial type telephones, I think, Dan.
Oh, with a rotary dial.
Yes, proper telephones.
Finger in the hole, round.
Yes.
Finger round, finger round.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Anyway, what are you calling in for today, Dan? And nice to have
Well, I
you.
suppose you mentioned museums.
Yes.
I was in the Natural History Museum once.
What, as an exhibit?
They wouldn't have me long enough, sadly. I was only there. It was that's the thing. It must have been if I left the home.
Yeah.
2011. So it's got to be. Oh, wait, I remember. Yeah, because Auntie Shirley had died, didn't she? In the March '09.
Oh, right.
So we must have gone a few weeks after that.
Oh, natural history, you say? Do you remember anything in there? Did they have that big skeleton there when you went in? When you go in, and it's the first thing you see, isn't it?
I thought that was a dinosaur. Oh well, hang on.
Yeah, skeleton of a dinosaur. Yes.
Oh, it is a skeleton of a dinosaur. Yes, so it must have been that. In fact, actually, as it's 2009,
right.
I might, because I thought I'd got to bring the photos up.
Yeah.
To try and remember what happened there, since it was so long ago. But I've just actually used Google Photos for this. Just
Google Photos, yeah.
Yeah, of what was there. But I'll get that off. Yeah, click on that there. We're trying to use the phone now to.
What are you doing, dear?
I'm just trying to find actual photos, just to remind me what was there. Because I did actually find it really good.
Good.
Even better than the London Transport Museum.
Oh, now where is that now? Is that in Syon Park? Or
London Transport Museum? No, they've got two. There's the main one at Covent Garden. That
that's still there, is it? Right, okay.
Yeah, that's still there. Everyone knows of that one.
Do they own that building?
Right. Well, I don't know about that.
They must own that
museum.
They must own that building because it would be a fortune to rent that place in the middle of Covent Garden.
Yeah, but it's the only museum in London where you actually have to. Well, this is the strange thing. You've got to pay to get in there, right?
Yeah.
And the last time I went there, when Penny wanted to take Ethan with her for an after-school half-term, they started a thing now where you get your ticket, and that ticket lasts for an entire year.
Oh, that's
which
all
is a
right.
bit straight. Well, it might be good for some people, but I think it's really strange because the majority of people they're going to get in there are tourists. And when you think tourists, they're only going to like be there for like in London for about up to 2 weeks, and then they're going to go back home again. So
Well,
what's the chances of?
yeah, I know that. I know Legoland were doing that. If you booked one day out there, or 2 days out, you would then get an annual ticket, and you could go for the rest of the year. I'm pretty sure Legoland were doing that as well.
All right, and that other London Transport Museum is the one at Acton Town,
Ah, okay. Did it
which
not
is
used
only
to be
open
at
on.
Sign Park?
There might have been, if there was one, that was before my time.
Right, okay.
Because I know the Covent Garden Museum opened in 1980.
Yeah. I remember
So
being, I'm sure it's the Sign Park when I went in and you could go on and off all the old buses and the train. I loved it. I loved it.
yeah, well, what I don't like about Covent Garden really is that you can't really like do much. You just like step up on a bus and all of a sudden there's a no entry sign blocking
Oh,
you
right,
and all
okay.
that sort
How
of thing.
much is
Yeah,
it?
I can't remember. It could have been about 15, I think.
Okay, that sounds
Yeah.
reasonable, I suppose.
Yeah,
Well, it is
right.
reasonable if you're on your own. If you've got a family, then it starts getting quite expensive, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I found them photos of my own photos of the Natural History Museum now.
All right.
Could we go that way? Oh, yeah, there's the dinosaur skeleton, which. Oh, yeah, I'll see how that is compared to that. Yeah. There was volcanoes.
Yes.
Come in many shapes and sizes, but they are all doing the same job of no doubt erupting over all of
Does
us.
it remind you of your acne? Did you have acne? Squeeze those spots in the bathroom mirror. Did you have that? I had
Yeah,
that.
I
Oh, it was
I've
terrible
been
when I was a
known for a bit of
teenager.
acne over the
Awful.
time. Some people used to say that I was so posh. I used to think that acne was the next borough to Islington.
Acne. Or you don't want to
Yeah.
go down there on a dark night, mate.
Oh,
Mugger's
no.
paradise, that is.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that
I
is
know.
Mugger's paradise. Ask Vera. She knows that area, don't you, Vera, love?
Yeah.
Blooming
So what
Hackney.
else have I got? There was an escalator in the
Yes.
Natural History Museum which goes up into a sort of something spherical. You go into this huge globe of something or other. It's not
Yeah.
a real globe, but it's something like I don't know, probably rock, I suppose, or something. You
Oh,
just
is
go
it? Okay, yeah.
into inside a rock.
Yeah.
And I've got a photograph of that. Perhaps I should have if I know you were talking about museums, I could have sent these photos.
Or you could have sent them over, yeah.
I
Just
could-
send them over next time or something for next time.
Yeah.
We can just remind me and then we'll do it again.
Anomite clocks. They've got something. Clocks made out of rock.
Ah, see, now I like clocks. I love clocks. I would go to a clock museum. Do you know, I'd quite like a grandfather clock. Or they do a smaller version, grandmother clock. I'd love a grand. I always remember being in Florida, 1980, 86, 85, 86. And we're driving along. We saw this clock shop. And I went in there. And they had this beautiful grandfather clock. And it was all glass. And the trouble is, when you go into an American shop, they're straight on you. Oh, what is it you're looking for? Oh, Christ. And, oh, this is really nice. Well, I don't know if I'm... Oh, we can ship them over to the UK. And it was beautiful. It was all glass, except, of course, for the workings, which, of course, you could see inside all these brass cogs going round. I love clocks. I've got a cuckoo clock at home.
Oh, I was just going to mention about them.
Yeah, I've
that
got a
they,
cuckoo
they
clock.
still
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah, oh, God, yeah. And
you just
some of
don't
them are
see
not,
them enough
yeah,
these
not
days.
expensive, really. There's so many different cuckoo clocks. Look them up. They're
Yeah,
probably all
so-
made in China now, I would imagine, Used to be made in Germany, in the Black Forest, didn't they? In Germany. Cuckoo clocks. Cuckoo, cuckoo.
Cuckoo
You can
bird.
get
cuckoo
battery
clock.
ones. My mate's got a battery one, which is all right, but it's not quite the same. I've got a proper one with pull-down chains and all that.
Yeah.
But the
Oh,
tick
that's
is
a-
very loud. It keeps you awake at night when this bloody cuckoo comes out. It's got a lever on the side. You can pull the lever down, and then the cuckoo don't come out, and it doesn't chime then. But it goes
Yeah.
cuckoo, cuckoo, and then underneath it, little people do a little dance. Dun, 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 dun. I'll tell you what, I'll video that. I'll video that at some point. Remind
Yeah,
me if I don't do it. I can't do it here, but it's the cuckoo clock's at home.
yes, I'm having a look at them
Cuckoo,
now. Some of them are
cuckoo.
very most of them are very ornate,
Yeah.
but there is one which is absolutely plain and functional. It's sort of
Is it?
very dull yellowy beigey,
Okay.
and it's just got a standard like sort of BBC One-ish type clock,
All right.
and in black.
Where's this
numeral.
again?
It's on Google search.
What do I type in?
Just put in cuckoo clock,
Yes.
and
What, just cuckoo
it's
clock, nothing
about-
else?
yeah, just cuckoo clock, and then underneath the shop bit, forget
Shopping,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, forget the the shop row there. Then it's in row 2, position 3, 4, 5, position 6, or 2 from the right. 6 from the left, 2 from the right.
What, £27? 3-colour cuckoo clock wall hanging
Oh
bird.
no, I didn't mean ignore the shopping things. I'm just talking about plain images.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so
Third,
if you ignore,
what did you say? It was third one along? From the left?
well, no, 6 from the left or 2nd from the right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
In second column down.
What, the yellow one?
Yes, it says double Q.
Cuckoo clock. Oh, yeah, I can see that there. Someone trying to call in there. I'm afraid I can only take one call at a time, so you've got to wait for Dan to go before I can take your call. Yeah, I see it. That looks like a battery one to me. That won't be too... Oh, it's £110. It's not exactly expensive. It's not exactly cheap, is it? Yeah. Yeah, we can only do one call at a time, my darling. So as soon as Dan's finished with his chit-chat, well, I'll be able to take you. Yeah, let's just show him the photo there. There you go. It's all right, that one, isn't it? There you go. But that's £110, which does seem to be a little bit expensive there, sir.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just
well.
actually still going through the rest of these photos, even after the Natural History Museum. It always reminds me how good a photographer I actually was back in the day.
Was you? Did you have a decent camera, did you?
Yeah, I actually had a Canon DSLR
Very good Canon.
with a very
yeah.
important 50mm lens.
Yeah.
You had two. You had a fixed 50mm lens or the zoom lens to go across.
Right.
The 50mm lens was essential for photos on the underground because you need the wide aperture.
Yeah. My father
Get
had a lovely camera. I think that was a Canon. I'm sure it was a Canon. He had it for years. He used to put the film in and wind it on, and there was no digital then, of course. I had
Yeah.
one of the first digital cameras, and I think the resolution was like 420 by 480 by 720. Does that sound about right? It was actually
Yeah, I mean-
quite low resolution, and you could only ever take something like 20 pictures, and then
Yeah,
you'd have
was
to.
this-
You couldn't. There was no memory sticks. You took your 20 pictures. That was it. You didn't have to download them onto your computer.
Oh, my God. Yes, that must have been before 2003.
Oh, I'm sure, but maybe it was. I don't know.
Because
Of course
I was working. The irony, not a lot of people know this. I was actually working for Jessop's. I had a period
right,
from
yes.
about let's say autumn 2003 to spring 04.
Yes.
So it wasn't a long stint I had there, but this was about the time when digital cameras were becoming popular.
Right. Peter
And I-
Jones owns that, doesn't he?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
he's moved on there. I still wouldn't bother with them really much these
Yes.
days unless it was an emergency. But when I worked for him, I mean the manager there, he was he was awful.
Was he?
He once there were just me and him were the only two serving,
Right.
and there was this woman come in, and she's asked me for something that I did not have a clue what it was. It was something really difficult,
Yeah.
and I stood there a bit like frozen, and he looked over at me while he's serving this other customer. He's looked over at me and he's gone, right, you get upstairs now.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was up there for about 20 minutes, feeling so and I looked round. And I remembered there was the back door there, and I thought I've got a choice. I can stay here and put up with him, or I can just walk.
And
And
you
of
walked.
course I walked, didn't I?
Did you walk?
I escaped out the back door.
Do you think you did the right thing
And
now?
well, the irony, I'll tell you what happened. I got home, and of course he's phoning me twice, leaving answer phone messages saying, oh Dan, I'm really sorry. Please phone back. So eventually, after a couple of times, I did phone back. I ended up back on the job with like, not exactly the most hugest of apologies, but like you could sense that he
Okay.
was like he knew he'd
Oh, well,
done
that's a result, isn't it? That doesn't always happen, you know.
yeah.
A lot of
But
these blooming bosses now, they just let you go. There seems to be very little value to people these days. Literally,
well,
they just let you go. You want to go? Oh, I'll go. Then they're not interested in like how good you are at the job. It's just
yeah, well,
funny
that's what the
state of
same
affairs,
thing.
really.
Well, I've had a feeling about when all my those 8 years or so I worked in the
Yes,
bingo.
yes.
I've come to the conclusion companies like whether it's Mecca, Gala Buzz, or even Jessop's when they went and all that, these companies they employ people on the basis that you need the job for the wage more than the job needs you. See what I mean?
Yeah,
And
that's
why I
their.
think.
So a
Yeah,
lot of them think like that now. It's a
yeah,
shame. Good
yeah.
people are lost. Good people who are good at their jobs are lost now just because they won't give them an extra 50 pence an hour. So they're so bloody tight. Some of these bosses, it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
So
that's why
tight.
British business is just so bad.
Oh well, never used to
And
be like that. Maybe it'll get better again sometime.
yeah, that's probably why we're all better off doing our own jobs, really.
Oh well, I'm very lucky. I think I've not really had many jobs I've hated. I've had a couple of DJ jobs I didn't like. Um, I think the worst one was this one I did in Colchester at Valley's Lounge. I hated it, and I think I managed 4 weeks there, and then I quit. I absolutely hated it. From the moment I started there, I thought you're in the wrong place here. I hated it.
Yeah,
Hated it, and it was like a. I mean, it's often the case with the old DJs type thing. You know, you got the customers wanting one thing, and the management wanting something else, and you're in the middle, and it was very much like that there, but really bad. And I thought, oh, I can't be bothered with this, can't be asked with this, so I just quit, and that was that.
yeah. No, I wouldn't. It's. I think a lot of the cases, it's they've got to let you do your own thing because at
Yes,
the end
they
of the
have.
day,
Yes.
you're best doing your own thing because
Oh
that's what
yeah,
you do
yeah,
best.
yeah.
And if you
This
end
is
up having to told to do stuff that you're just not familiar with,
yeah, yeah.
then that's I think is
Oh
where
yeah,
you
yeah.
end up.
This is what I do. I like to do my thing, take it or leave it. It's the same with this little show, really. This is what I do, take it or leave it. I might be able to change some things and get like 10,000 viewers, but would I be happy doing that? I'm quite happy to just sit here rambling on about nothing in particular, and if a few people enjoy it, all well and good. Don't get
Yeah,
me wrong, I'd
because
love to have 50,000 people watching this and enjoying it, but it won't happen because it's been so long
yeah,
now. We got.
because it's the strange thing, Chris, is that you do this show now. I mean, actually, how many viewers are you on at the moment?
I've no idea. I've no idea.
30.
Don't know.
You've got 30.
30. Okay.
But the
Well,
betting is that when this video, give it this a video a week when it goes on as recorded, you'll be about 150. Let's say.
150, 200. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you think, where were those 150 viewers now?
Oh yeah, but they haven't got time to sit there. This is how television is going. You see. I think most people are watching streaming. They decide when they want to watch. The 10 o'clock news, for example. Well, I'm not going to be there at 10 o'clock to watch it, am I? I'm still sat here at the moment. We haven't played the blood pressure video yet, which I want to show you. Some people haven't seen yet. I want to play that. That's 15 minutes long. So I will watch the 10 o'clock news probably about 10:30 tonight. And it's the
Yeah,
same with this. You can't. People aren't there at the time you put the show on. Gone are the days when you used to rush home from school to be in front of the television at 4:45 because that's when Blue Peter started. Now these
yeah,
kids, they come home from school. Oh, we'll watch Blue Peter tonight at 7 o'clock. So it's the whole Netflix effects, really. I suppose, really.
yeah.
Thinking
And they've
about
even
it
had
like
to
that.
change the intro on Crackerjack now. It's no longer 5 to 5, and it's
Well,
Crackerjack.
depends. It's no longer 5 to 5, and it's
No, it's
Cracker
now
Jack.
6 o'clock. 'Cause they're letting the
Oh,
kids
Dan. Well, thanks for calling in tonight, Dan.
Yes, okay, Chris.
Always a pleasure,
That's
sir. Cheerio.
all right.
Bye
See you
now.
then.
There we are, Dan in Romford. Always great to hear Dan in Romford chatting away there. Some of your messages there. Anyone else want to call in? 0208 144 3477. Dave Holland says, I'd love to go to a classic Doctor Who museum. I wonder if there is one. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's some sort of doctor or exhibition. For exhibition, you could call it a museum. I'm sure they got all the old monsters and things there. Do you remember the Green Death? John Pertwee was my Doctor Who. The Green Death and those little wriggly things. Davros, I like Davros. He sits there like that, doesn't he? Good evening to Adam the Plumber. Hello, Adam. Happy Sunday. Myself and Royston are in a hot tub talking to a neighbour, Richard, next door, listening to your show. So, hello, Richard. Hello, Richard. Can you give him the website, please, so that he can find us? Thank you. Mark, do you like escaping through the back door, Chris? You wouldn't escape from my back door. Why does it look like this teapot sprout is up the flamingo's bum? It's the only way that flamingo's going to get a cheap thrill in here. Or you are awful. Maureen, talking about LBC, Steve Allen, who is like in talk show hosts, to me, he's right up there. Steve Allen, brilliant talk show host. He's trouble is he's on so early in the morning, 4 till 6:30 a.m. or 4 till 6 a.m. Of course, you can listen on the podcast, which I often do. But Maureen, see, he's been ill recently. We not really know what's wrong with him. Steve has had a CT scan on his kidneys this week. He saw his consultant. He told him he's got to have an operation. Oh, is that right? Okay. Yeah, that will be the diabetes then, won't it? It's affected his kidneys, as it can do. You know, diabetes can affect all sorts of things, really. That's why I got this blood pressure monitor, because I know high blood pressure can affect your kidneys there. Right, we'll just do these messages here, and then I'll play you the blood pressure video that I made earlier. Weird City says, loved the Doctor Who jacket. Would you say... Yes, Tom Baker. Didn't Tom Baker own a red one? Is this a Doctor Who jacket? I think it might be, actually, now that I think about it. This come from China. I've got a few bits and pieces from China. The lovely Clarissa bought me a couple of jackets from China. I haven't seen her for a while, Clarissa. I hope she's doing well. I must drop her a message. It might be a Doctor Who jacket, this. Well pointed out, Mr. Weird City. And hello, welcome to the show. Shania's back from the Rosary, and here I am, still chatting away. Vera says the BBC did a Doctor Who at Broadcasting House a few years ago. Yes, I thought they'd done some sort of exhibition there, or something like that. Okay then. If you didn't see it already, I'm going to show you the blood pressure video I did earlier on today. And I do have my gadget here at the moment, all right? So now I just had that sharp pain again in the bottom of my leg this time. It's like someone gets a needle and does that. Seriously, it's nothing but... It feels like a bit like a sting from a wasp. I wonder what that is. I must look that up. Okay, so I made a blood pressure box opening video earlier on this afternoon, which I have uploaded separately, but I know a lot of you aren't subscribed to that. One of the playlists I've got is box. When I buy something new, I now film myself opening it and telling you all about it. And this afternoon I did a blood pressure monitor. So if you didn't see it, go away for about, I think it's about 14 minutes long altogether. So you've got a 14-minute break here. Okay. And I'll show you the video. This is our blood pressure video opening box. Hello and welcome to another unboxing video. Today we've got from Boots an automatic blood pressure monitor. And the reason I bought this is because I've had a minor problem with tinnitus for years, to be honest. I was a club DJ for a very long time. And a couple of weeks ago, it suddenly got much worse. And someone mentioned it might be a high blood pressure. It might be high blood pressure. And I went to see my specialist doctor about 2 months ago for a regular checkup thing, and he mentioned that my blood pressure was a little bit high, which I've never had before. So I thought I'd get one of these rather than make another appointment, because the old NHS are very busy at the moment, and see how we get on with this. This is the cheapest one they had in there at £19.99. They did have ones in there, also approaching sort of the £100 mark. But I looked at, I mean, what do I want it for? It's only for me. I only want it to measure the blood pressure. I don't need memories or anything like that, according to it. So I just picked the cheapest one off the shelf, and here it is. So let's see what's in the box. I haven't opened this at all yet, and I'm kind of hoping if it needs batteries, they might already be provided, because I wouldn't know. All right, so £19.99 this. Walked into Boots and just got it. So this is what's in the box then. Okay. That's what you open into, all right? There we are. So, we've got the instructions. The little, I don't know what that is. Oh, that looks like the thing you put around your neck. Your arm, well, your neck if you don't like the person. You know, your arm, that looks like that to me. Okay, little bag to keep it all in, I suppose, if you want to travel around the world with it. And this must be the actual gadget, I would imagine. So let's have a look. Now, to me, this looks really simple to use, although I haven't read the instructions at all. You know how it is. We read instructions when we can't do it, don't we? So there you go. That's the actual item. There is no batteries provided from what I can see. And it looks like it takes 4 of the pencil type batteries. So I'll just pop over there and get some of those out of the drawer. Ah. There you go. Little tip. Always have some spare batteries in the drawer and hide them, because people come round and they see them. Oh, can I have a couple of batteries? No, go away. Always have some batteries in there. So we'll pop these batteries in here without even... Oh, shall we look at these instructions? No, I'll tell you what. I'll leave the instruction. Let's see. It looks pretty obvious to me. So let's open the back here. This could be a very short video. 4 batteries waiting to go in there. I get my batteries from Aldi. Some of you will say, oh, use Duracell. Well, it's up to you, okay? It's pretty obvious in there which way they go round. You know, the spring is usually at the end, the flatter end. There'd be a bit sticking up that end, but the flat. So the spring usually goes against that, the flat end. And there are little symbols in there telling you which way to put the batteries in. So let's just put these in. And they go like opposite ways, you know. There you go, batteries in. All right. We'll stick that back on. That goes in. Never force these things in. It's so easy to break off the little bits of plastic. So you can see the 2 holes there, yeah. Goes in there like that. And clicks on the back. Okay, easy. So that's on there. There's an on-off, there's a start-stop button there, so we won't press that yet. Let's have a look at this. Again, this looks pretty obvious to me. Oh, it does give you batteries, okay? Never mind. We'll use those for something else. All right, so the batteries were hidden in here. Now, going on when I've had blood pressure done at the hospital or doctor, this does look pretty obvious. So, it's got that there, and look at the side. There's a little thing to put out, push, I reckon, yeah. I mean, that's easy, isn't it? Okay. Now, I reckon I'll just put this on my arm and push the start button, and we'll see what happens. Right, let's just... we'll take this off. If I remember at doctors and places like that, if you've just got there, generally they tell you to sit down for a while and wait until you do this, because that can affect the results. But I have been sitting here and all I've been doing is talking to you, so let's give it a go. I'm assuming it's arm. It wouldn't be wrist, would it? That's too big for wrist. Okay, well, let's put it on. it's got that hook stuff, you know. So you just, what's that called? You know, the little things. So you just touch them together and then they kind of stick. About right to you? Okay. So if it doesn't work, we'll read the instructions. Let's press start and stop. Oh, numbers have come on. Okay, that's inflating now. I can feel that inflating. How exciting! It's quite a nice sensation. I wonder what else you can wrap that around. Okay, so that's going to give me some sort of reading now, I suppose. Right, remember, this is straight out of the box. I haven't tried anything. I'll be honest, I don't know what the numbers mean. I'll have to look those up in a moment. What do we do? Wait for it to stop? Okay. So it says, oh, it's got the heart rate as well there. Look, at the bottom there, 66. Okay, so heart rate 66. It says cis 148 over 98. So I don't know what that means. Let's wait. What do I do a second one or what? Let's have a look in here what that means. I could have had my glasses there somewhere on it. 148 over 98. Okay. Okay. Clinic. Oh, home blood pressure 148. It says I've got hypertension stage 1. Systolic. The systolic is supposed to be between 185 and 134. Okay. Mine is reading 148. Okay, so that's at the higher end. Diagnostic upper value. It says 55 to 84. Mine is 98. So I've got hypertension stage 2, which says there is often no clear cause of high blood pressure, but it can affect your lifestyle. Overweight, well, I'm about a stone and a half overweight, I think. High cholesterol, I wouldn't know about that. Drinking, no, I don't drink. I don't add salt to anything. Not eating enough fruit and vegetables, no, I doubt that actually. Not exercising enough, well, I go for a lot of walks. Drinking too much coffee. Now, I drink gallons of tea. I mean, I've just had this massive pot first thing in the morning, and smoking as well affect it. High blood pressure has no symptoms, but it can damage the kidneys, heart and brain. All right. So there we are. Well, that's it. You don't need to know about my medical side of things, but according to this, mine is a little bit high. I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll sit here for 15 minutes and do nothing. Okay, then we'll do it again. So now, by the magic of YouTube, 15 minutes will pass. I've been sitting here about, actually about 45 minutes now, so I should be well rested now. So let's give this another go and see if it makes any difference. Okay, so yeah, put it on there. Does it have to be tight? Hang on a minute, actually, let's have a look. As long as it doesn't sort of fall down your arm, I'm sure that's all right. Hang on. Out come the instructions. Always a good sign, isn't it? Here we are. Using it, insert it. Yeah, it tells us every. Write it firmly in place around your left upper arm. Okay, so firmly in place. Let's just do it a little bit tighter. Okay. And once again, very simple. We just push the start-stop button, and these numbers should start whirring around in a moment. Yep, I can feel that. That's now pumping up air in there. Numbers going up there, okay. Can you see this doing it? Wonder how long the batteries will last in something like this. Right, have a look at that again. I don't know if my arm's supposed to be down like that, actually. Certainly a lot less tension when you pull it down. Oh. Well, that's a huge difference, isn't it? That's a huge... So it's now 138/79. Okay. Heart rate's down as well. I've generally got a low heart rate. I do a lot of exercise. Although I haven't been swimming for a long... I used to do a lot of swimming. Now it's walking, obviously because of the pools are closed. But so they're my results. That was earlier on. 148/98/66, and now it's 138/79/64, which I think puts me in the normal rate. Let's have a look here. Home blood pressure. It needs to... Normal is 55/84. 55/84. What's it now? 79. Okay. Stage 1 hypertension 85/94. So it's now 79 again. So that's actually, yeah, that's fine. And stage 2 95 and over, and 150 and over. Yeah, I'm all normal. Okay, so it's made me normal. Well, it just goes to show you, doesn't it, when you sit down for a little bit and have a rest before you do it. Well, that obviously works. So there we go. That's the item again. The Boots automatic blood pressure monitor cost you just under 20 quid, 19.99 I think I paid for it. They do some... Also available in Boots the Chemist. There is a little bit more on there, but it's just advertising my shows for this, so you don't want to see that. Right, so I thought I'd do one while I've been sitting here with you. Now, I would imagine sitting here sort of doing a show, I get quite excited doing this, you know, it's like my thing. So I'm just imagining that it's going to be a little bit higher. So I have pre-prepared myself now. All right, let's just take that phone number off the screen so you can see everything. All right, I've pre-prepared myself. So we've got the little thing here. We'll turn it on again, and it should start doing its thing, I think. Okay. Oh, can you hear that? It's like a vibration, isn't it, in the arm? I would also imagine my heart rate slightly higher now. Now that's really tight at the moment, much tighter than it was when I was trying it earlier. My fingers are going numb. Let's see. You're supposed to sit quietly while you're doing this, aren't you? Okay, 148.89. Heart rate's quite low now. 148.89. Hang on, 148.89. So 54 is my heart rate, so that's quite low. I've always had quite a low heart rate, which according to the doctor was because I was swimming so much. Well, I'm not swimming at all at the moment. Funnily enough, I did try and book in some swimming sessions down at the Lido they have here, which is now open right the way through until October, I think it is. And the only slot I could get was like 6:15 in the morning. I mean, sod that. I mean, you got to be desperate to want to go 6:15 in the morning. They're absolutely chock-a-block. Chock-a-block. You can get morning ones until 8:30. Obviously, I couldn't have an 8:30 morning one because I've got the radio show to do at 9. 7. I could probably do a 7 o'clock one, 7 o'clock in the morning. But then I'd have to be up at like 6 to go and do it, and I don't really want to do that. So I might try the old the council run pool in Boston, because I'm not a member anymore. You see. I cancelled my membership when we realised we weren't going to be up here for ages. So I actually cancelled the membership, which was very reasonable. It was only £29 a month. That's all it was. Down where I am, I'm looking at a place now at the house which is £53 a month. That's the cheapest one. I mean, there is a council run one there, but it's just their booking is so complicated. I just, if you've got this, go at this time. If you want to swim medium, go at. Oh, blimey, it's so complicated. I don't know who designed that. Everyone Active or something like that. It's called. Anyway, 148/59. Now, where's my leaflet? Let's see if that's okay. 148/59. Right. Okay, so that again is reading stage 1 hypertension, which is the upper value. Systolic. Okay. What was the other one? 59. So diastolic upper value below 60. So mine was 59. That says it's below. So that's low. I've got low blood pressure. Oh, I don't know what it means. And 54 heart rate. So there we go. That's what it is at the moment. So it does seem to change throughout the day, but I don't think it's too far off normal. Do you know what I mean? I mean, one of them was completely normal that I did earlier, wasn't it? As you saw on the video there, the second one, after I've been sitting there a while there. Let's have a look. Weird City says, you're correct. I'm confusing Tom Baker's scarf. That's right. My mum made one of those. My mum made me a Tom Baker's scarf. I haven't got it anymore. Sit there knitting. Anyone do knitting anymore? Do you remember anyone still do knitting? My sister's got a sewing machine and she makes stuff. She's very talented doing that sort of thing. Fran says, your blood pressure monitor looks similar to mine. Just noticed it is Omron. Just the Boots rebranding. That's different. Yes, I did see Omron on the YouTube videos when I was looking what sort of tags to get there. Thank you, Fran. Mark Bowles says, have you tried it anywhere else? Is it any good? You won't need a machine, Mark. Just come round, love. Rachel said you should have your elbow and lower arm on the desk with the palm of the hand facing up. Oh, should I? Should I do it again? Do you want me to do it again? Ollie K. Am I late? What time do you call this, Ollie? Are you taking the mick, mate? What time do you call this? I haven't got my whip. The jingles aren't working for some reason tonight. I haven't got the whip installed. So you're lucky you're not going to be punished tonight, Ollie. I'll have a word with your father, though. Blooming time you come like that, honestly. £10. We should have finished 5 minutes ago. I'm over time now. Are we getting any extra money for this? I'll tell you what, I'm just going to do what Rachel's telling me to do. Because Rachel will know about these things. So we'll do this again. And we'll see if we get a different result. Perhaps I'm doing this wrong. Let's do it one more time. And then I'm going to go and have a cup of tea. I'm feeling quite parched now. I haven't got any bread. That's not a bad thing, though, is it? Do you know what I'm having tonight? Pot noodle, Mark. Did you think I had servants here? Can you put some chips on? I'll be round later. Is Tina in? I'm not coming round if she's in. Oh, she'll only want to start talking about bleeding hairdressing and all that sort of stuff that the women do, innit? Oh, I can't bear it. Right, so this is on tight, isn't it, Rachel? This has got to be on tight. Okay. With the Velcro, which George told us about. Right, so let's give this another go. What's she saying? You should have your elbow... Oh, the metal bit's sticking into me there. Hang on. You should have your elbow and lower arm on the desk with the palm of hand facing up. Okay. What, like that? Like that, yeah? Okay, let's push the button again. Let's see what we get now. Start. Let's try this now. Ollie says he's got an excuse. Let's have a look. What's his excuse? I've just been to a love music festival. First one back. Oh, what did you see there? Who were the artists? Right, let me keep quiet a minute while it's doing its measuring thing. I'm not comfortable sitting here like this. It's not comfortable at all, I must say. Right, so now it says, okay, heart rate's now 57, about the same. Systolic 125, dia 73. So systolic, that's a huge difference. I get different bleeding reading every time. Systolic 123, which is normal. Dia 73, which is normal. And pulse 57, which is about normal for me. So that's all normal now, Rachel. Completely normal. There you go. Are you all right with normal, Mark, or do you want sort of unusual? I can do anything you want. Just tell me. You know, what do you want me to wear? I can order little French maid's outfit, something like that. Whatever's your thing, just let me know. All right. So let's see. Where has Ollie Kay been? Oh, just a local covers band. Oh, that's all right, isn't it? I quite like bands that do covers. I mentioned a band the other day, Ollie, you might like. What were their names? Let me just see if I can find them for you. Would that be in my history? Oh, I subscribed. Oh, I'm going to have to go for my subscriptions now, just for you. Look at the things I do for people. Hang on, subscriptions. There it is, subscriptions. Right. Country band. Some sort of country band. See if I can find them for you. Is it that one? Nope. I tell you what, Ollie, see if you like this. Lush. Lush, this is the YouTube channel, all one word. Lush Official. LUSHOFFICIAL. See if you like that. That's all these. There's a big place, and it's full of people dancing to an orchestra playing rave sort of dance music. Show that to your dad as well. I think he'll like that. I can't remember what the name of the band was though. Oh, I'm not finding that. I can't remember the name of the band, but there you are, something for you to look at later on. All right, Ollie. And you're dust in my mouth. You're on holiday tomorrow, aren't you? You're on holiday from school at the moment. And thank you to Rachel as well. Okay, well, I think we'll wrap things up there this evening, boys and girls. Thanks ever so much for joining us. Don't forget the new show times for our little show. It's Sundays, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 o'clock now, okay? Sundays, Tuesdays and Thursdays is when you can find our chat show. I'm on the radio tomorrow morning. There you go. Nice new poster. All right, music, chat and fun radio show, 9 till 10 o'clock, reachonair.com. I do have so much fun doing that show. I really do. And I get you to play some music as well. If you're not doing anything later on, or you're laying there in bed and you want to drift off, that's the man you want to be listening to. Alan Ross, who's on Reach on Air tonight between midnight and 3 a.m. Midnight and 3 a.m, reachonair.com, okay? It's a bit like, do you know, it just occurred to me, it's a bit like when old BBC One used to close down, isn't it? If you're looking at company throughout the night, why not join Ken Bruce on BBC Radio 2? Well, now it's Alan Ross on Reach on Air. Anyway, I'm going now to have a cup of tea and a pot noodle because no one's made me a better offer, basically. Have a lovely evening. Thanks ever so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure sitting here chatting away to you and sharing thoughts and things like that. Another chat show for you on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. Good night now.